Good evening, motherfuckers. How's everybody doing tonight? I am watching a interesting video. I just happened upon it, and I generally don't watch a bunch of these. But I did throw this one on, and it's not looking very good for the court system. We're going to it's the Dishonorable C ANN ZIMMERMAN from the Las Vegas Justice Court, Department 8. This is a bench trial. Mr. DeCastro, case number right here. 180 days in jail. Now we're going back up just a skosh.
Becoming a Ford technician makes you more than a mechanic. You're a professional.
Makes you a fucking piece of shit. Now I want you to watch the judge up here.
Past experiences and the training he received in reference to the First Amendment. I don't think there's any intent from the defendant to engage in any wrongdoing in this case, Your Honor. And that being the case,
we're going to start at the sentencing and we'll go back.
Engaging in wrongdoing. It seems to me from observing him in the video that he wants this. He wants to get arrested. He wants to get into an altercation with police officers. He welcomes this. This helps his YouTube channel. He called the officers here in my courtroom today pigs. He called me, and he's not set up and down. So apparently he hates every law enforcement officer in the United States. All right. Please stand up, sir. Are you finished with your request?
She's mad.
I'll just emphasize, Your Honor, that the defendant has.
Now this old gal just plumb fucking mad. And it's pretty obvious she's mad. She and I watched it at high. I listened to it at that high speed, and fucking was like, well, we'll just fucking do this together.
Testified and he sincerely believes that he is providing a public service when he reviews and films season 6. I understand the court may have a different view of that, but when we're talking about,
we've been watching it at 1.5 to speed now.
People involved in government, I think that is something the court should take into consideration. Not necessarily like that. Let's go.
Mr. Please stand. I hereby sentence you to 90 days in the Clark County Detention Center on count 1, 90 days in the Clark County Detention Center on count 2, to run consecutive for a total of 108 days in custody.
Well, Johnny, they couldn't wait. She's mad and she leaves in a hurry. Well, we're going to come back. Now, they pulled some bullshit. I think it's bullshit. Because my understanding to do what they done. Now, look at this. There's a camera here in the courtroom. Let it catch up. I'm going to have to change my latencies. All right. Dude, right there, recording it all. The official press. You can see Chili right there. Looking back down that pew. He's down that aisle. And like I said, we'll watch this. And now his phone's in his hand. Right here. He lays it down there.
So I have signed 2 media requests that permit recording or photographing these proceedings, but I have not granted any other requests to record or live stream these proceedings. So I need Mr. DeCastro.
Now, we're going to back up just a little bit. And we're going to play that again. Like I said, we established that there's a camera set up right in here.
Mr. DeCastro? Can you turn off the phone, please? The one that's in your hand?
Just gonna get my lawyer. He's on his way now. I'm just waiting for him to get.
All right, you're gonna wait for your attorney, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, Jose DeCastro.
There's the
22,
camera.
015.
Good morning, Your Honor. Morning, State.
Good morning, Mike, on behalf of the defendant, President of the People's Court.
So I have signed 2 media requests that permit recording or photographing these proceedings, but I have not granted.
So you know the Supreme Court rule 2030 mandate absent a showing of good cause that news reporters file a formal written request for permission prior to providing coverage of judicial proceedings. Absent a showing of good cause. So they don't technically have to, okay. Now this is coming off of
Any other
I don't know
requests.
if it's, whose channel this is. It's some the judges in Nevada.
Mr. DeCastro, and everybody else who wants to stay in the courtroom to surrender their phones, or you can leave.
So she's taking everybody's phone.
Mr. DeCastro, that empty all of his phones.
We're gonna listen to it one more time.
So I need Mr. DeCastro and everybody else who wants to stay in the courtroom to surrender their phones, or you can leave.
Are your phone covered or not? Take one for you.
I need Mr. DeCastro to empty all of his pockets.
So everybody in the courtroom, or you can leave. So I thought it took a warrant signed by a federal judge to secure somebody's phone. That she couldn't just say, "Give me your phone and get out." One more time.
Not granted any other requests to record or live stream these proceedings. So I need Mr. DeCastro and everybody else who wants to stay in the courtroom to surrender their phones, or you can leave.
Are your phone covered or not? Take one for you.
I need Mr. DeCastro to empty all of his pockets.
What's that? In your pockets and your phones to the judge.
Empty all your
Is
pockets.
he using my phones?
Yeah.
My phone's actually completely off.
I don't really want to be part of your YouTube channel.
You already are.
Right?
You already are.
Oh, right here. Right here.
No, there-
All right. Right there it is. I don't want any part of your YouTube channel. She's already went and done her own research on this shit. She's mad about it. She's mad about his comment. Now, you can't beat the ride, but, Nelson Mandela went to fucking prison for fucking 20 years and then was leader of a country and found to be just and all this other shit. So, motherfuckers, I don't particularly like Mr. DeCastro of what I've seen him present himself, but this fucking judge is wrong. She's got personal feelings, all this other shit. Look at that fucking domineering finger. These motherfuckers already know this whole deal from the court side is, I think, it's pre-rehearsed. Wanted to make sure couldn't nobody in there except for the people she said could record. And, when he goes, "You're already part of my YouTube channel." She's mad about it. So this catastrophic failure is a fucking honorable judge is out there.
We're gonna go to my marshal.
He goes to hand it to the
Excuse me?
fucking.
I said he's a pig.
Okay. So I'm not gonna permit you to speak to anybody in my courtroom in that manner. And if
Okay, see, now she's mad. Now she's mad. She has her own agenda, her feelings in this. This lady needs to be held accountable.
you don't want to apologize, I'm gonna hold you in contempt.
I apologize to the court, Your Honor.
No, you can apologize to, they've done nothing to you.
Actually, Your Honor, when he was here, he came over and gave me a directive for no reason, started telling me what to do.
Nah. See, she's already made up her mind, already hunting ways to arrest him, to give him time. She is mad. She's already made up her mind without hearing the evidence. She's obviously seen some of the footage because of the body cam and all that. I hadn't seen the footage. They go through some of it. I fast forwarded it because the volume was real low and shit like that. That's not a whole lot of concern to me, the footage and some of this other questioning. This right here is the key moment. She's mad about it. Fucking that pig, you know, and you can go back and watch this video from the start. And let's see. Let's see. Can I hide that? Don't let me hide that. I can't. I will do this. It's the state of Nevada, our Nevada Judges Incorporated. This is the fucking
You as well, sir. But I'm here about the
channel.
child, the best interest of the child, and making sure the child is safe.
So that
All right, all those you can catch her.
our Nevada Judges Incorporated. So we may have to do some research on this YouTube channel and find out if it's actually the fucking circuit judges putting out there what they want to, or doing it from their end and trying to fucking draw more money for the judges out of YouTube. Wouldn't that be a conflict of interest? Them promoting their own channel over and blocking press? Huh?
Morning, Agnes Battelle.
Are you Mr. DeCastro? Can you turn off the phone,
I don't
please?
know how we got.
What's in your hand?
Just gonna get my lawyer. He's on his way here now.
We'll hit a few comments from the officer. Some of the questioning there. Let's see. Go back a little bit more.
On the phone and refuse
Okay, and did he obey the
cell phone camera.
point, sir? Did you go back to your patrol vehicle to further your,
Like and it came back expired.
I went too far.
that also?
We'll
explains,
speed it up a little bit too.
Were you deployed with Metro? I'm assuming you are, you've been deployed for 8 years, back on March 15th of 2023.
Yes, it was.
Were you a patrol officer at that time?
Yes, it was.
As a patrol officer, do you wear a uniform?
Yes, I do.
Can you describe the uniform?
It would be the same uniform I'm wearing today.
Okay, so for the record, you're wearing a tan uniform with the logos, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, located throughout your shirt.
Yes.
Okay. As a patrol officer, do you have access to or utilize?
Pull it back down.
Yes.
And can you describe what this marked patrol vehicle looks like?
It's black and white in color and it has the LVMP's logo on all sides.
Okay. And is it also equipped with lights and sirens?
Yes.
And so you were employed as patrol officer back on March 15th of 2023.
Yes.
At some point in time, did you conduct a traffic stop while you were working in that capacity
Yes, I did.
on that date?
Yes.
And was that for a vehicle bearing license plate 748Z, like zebra, T like Tom, B like boy?
Yes.
And why did you stop that vehicle?
I had conducted a DMV records check on that license plate and it came back expired and suspended.
And where is it that you stopped that vehicle?
It was 4155 South Grand Canyon, which is your target.
Okay. Is that over on Flamingo Grand Canyon?
Yes.
Okay, and that's here in Las Vegas, Clark County, Nevada, sir?
Yes.
And to your knowledge, was your body worn camera functioning at that time?
Yes, it was functioning.
And so you made contact with the driver of that Hyundai.
Yes, I did.
How would you characterize the nature of your encounter or the nature of your encounter with that driver?
She was cooperative with me. I explained the reason for the stop. She seemed confused, not sure exactly how it had become suspended, but she was friendly and cooperative.
Okay, and she identified herself.
She did. She got a picture of
Complied.
us.
She complied herself.
At some point, sir,
Hold on.
did you go?
Suspended, but she was friendly and cooperative.
Okay, and she identified herself.
She did. She got a picture
She complied herself. So
of her license article.
Okay. And at some point, sir, did you go back to your patrol vehicle to further your investigation?
I did.
And as you were, let me ask you this, when you effectuated the traffic stop on this vehicle, where did you park or stop your vehicle in relation to the Hyundai that you were stopping?
I parked approximately 10, 15 feet behind the stop vehicle. We ended up in a parking lot.
Okay.
10,
And was the
15
driver the
feet
sole occupant of
behind.
the vehicle?
Yes.
And so when you returned to your patrol vehicle to conduct your further investigation,
It's
was the
dangerous.
driver within eyesight?
Yes, she was.
Okay. And is it
Is it made to I mean, for one, I can't believe they're not so lazy that they don't want to park right up on them. But it seems like the closer you had your patrol car, would be safer than 10 or 15 foot. To span that gap, if the driver decided to throw it in reverse, if your car is fairly close to them, your car is a shield. They got to hit your car. 10, 15 foot, they can veer out around it and fucking catch you or on, traffic coming up the road or whatever. But 10, 15 feet seems to be extreme as far as,
Is it your habit and custom and also your training to keep the individual that you are, dealing with within eyesight?
Yes.
And so at some point while you were still in your vehicle, your patrol vehicle, did something.
now hold on. To keep the individual within eyesight. So that means anything where she's leading with this that distracts his eyes for any reason from that individual is obstruction.
Occurred that's causing you to have to testify before Judge Zimmerman today.
Yes, I had an unrelated person.
Causing you to have to testify. Let's back up here.
The sole occupant of the vehicle?
Yes.
And so when you returned to your patrol vehicle to conduct your further investigation, was the driver within eyesight?
Yes, she was.
Okay. And is it your habit and custom and also your training to keep the individual that you are, dealing with within eyesight?
Yes.
And so at some point while you were still in your vehicle, your patrol vehicle, did something occur that's causing you to have to testify before Judge Zimmerman today?
Yes, I had an unrelated person come over to start recording the traffic stop.
Okay.
Now hold on. And right there, I had an unknown person come over and start recording the traffic stop. That's what caused him to have to be in court today. So he told the truth on that one. And here a little further in his deal, when he's cross-examined, I believe, he's asked about his training in the First Amendment and some stuff, and his answers there are sketchy.
And we talked about your body worn camera previously, but did you activate your body worn camera prior to the traffic stop?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Or just before you initiated the traffic stop?
I initiated the stop and then I immediately activated my camera.
Okay. And how is it that body worn camera is activated on your uniform, sir?
I have a battery pack that's on my belt in the front, and I press the activation button, which is in front.
Okay. And so is it just a tap of that activation button?
It's a double tap on the front. Yes.
Okay. And how is it that you would stop recording?
I would hold down that same power button,
Okay.
or it can be turned off. There's a toggle switch on the top that slides on and off.
Okay. And so your body worn camera was.
So he's described two ways of turning the camera off, and the body cams around here, and most body cams that I'm aware of in a patrol unit, start recording from 30 seconds prior to activation of lights with no audio, and then the audio kicks in after 30 seconds of activation of lights. And it's an automatic thing that when the lights come on and the dash cam starts recording, and the body cam, the way I understand them. Anyway.
Running as of, the traffic stop being initiated.
Yes.
Okay. And so you described an unrelated individual coming over to, your stop.
Yes.
Okay. Can you describe this individual?
He was a white male adult. He was wearing bright colored hoodie and blue jeans.
Okay. That individual, do you see him in court today?
Yes, I do.
Can you please point to him and describe something he's wearing?
He's wearing a suit and a blue tie.
Your Honor, please let the record reflect identification of the defendant.
Sorry.
And so what do you do upon seeing this individual approach the driver of the vehicle you picked up?
Initially, when I saw him, he was just recording. I ignored him, continued my records check. Then when he came over to the driver and started speaking to them, I got out of the car, approached the driver, and told the passenger to back up.
When you first noticed, so you identified one unknown or unrelated male subsequently, correct?
Yes.
And what was his name?
Jose Castro.
Okay. And as he
Now, how does he absolutely know he's an unrelated male? Just because he didn't happen to be in the car? Hell, that could have been her brother. Just saying.
individual you identified here in court.
Yes.
Okay. And so when you first laid eyes on the defendant, approximately how far away was he from the driver of the vehicle in the Hyundai?
Approximately somewhere within 5 to 10 feet.
Okay. And you indicated that he was recording.
Yes.
Was it 5 or 10? And see, she's hammering the recording. So, and that's interesting on what's coming up a little later in the cross-examination.
Okay, what did you see that led you to believe he was recording?
He had his cell phone camera pointed directly at me.
Okay. And so is that when on seeing him being that close?
Directly at me. Look at that man's face when he says that. I mean,
Okay, what did you see that led you to believe he was recording?
He had his cell phone camera.
look at him. And I'm sure if I slowed it down, you could see the minuscule nuances in how unhappy he was.
How far away was he from the driver of the vehicle in the Hyundai?
Well, let's just do that. Let's slow it down and have a look at it there.
Somewhere within 5
What?
centimeters.
And so is that when on seeing him being that close to the drivers that when you told him
Look at him.
walked up to the driver of the stop sign. And so is that when on seeing him being that close to the drivers that when you told him you walked up to the driver?
Hell, it skipped out on me. Y'all get the point. We'll go back to high speed. I can't handle that fucking slow speed. They got to be yakking.
What did you see that led you to believe he was recording?
He had his cell phone camera
Look at him.
pointed directly at me.
That double blink.
Okay.
And
And
then that
so is that
little
when on
squint.
seeing him being that close to the driver, is that when you told him you walked up to the driver of the stops vehicle and asked Mr. DeCastro to back up?
Yes, once he started talking with the driver.
And why is it that he did
Once
that,
he-
sir?
Well, I can't have unrelated people next to my.
He said once he started talking to the driver, and now he can't have unrelated people.
Traffic stops. I don't know if he's a dangerous person, armed. He could be a boyfriend of the stopped person. It's for my safety and the safety of the person I stopped.
That you did that, officer?
Well, I can't have unrelated people next to my traffic stops. I don't know if he's a dangerous person, armed. He could be.
Unrelated people next to my traffic stop. So in LA, you can't stop nobody fucking walking down the fucking street. Or, because people are walking down the public sidewalk. They're in proximity of your. So, fail there.
Be a boyfriend of the stopped person. It's for my safety and the safety of the person I stopped.
Because you're also in charge of the safety of the individual.
Oh, and the safety of the person I stopped. Well, now, the judge somewhere in this makes the comment that the driver did not holler at Chile for any help. But she did not holler at the officer for any help by his own testimony through this to make him stop filming her that she felt unsafe.
That this unrelated individuals making contact with, is that fair to say?
Yes.
And so you saw it as an officer safety issue as well as a safety issue for the driver.
Yes.
So it's a safety issue for both the officer and the driver, for the officer to stop somebody on the side of the street where there's a public sidewalk or any unrelated people could be in the fucking general vicinity, because that would be an interference, much less to record it and to talk to the driver to see if she's okay or whatever.
And so when you approached, well, you said he was recording, the defendant was recording. At any time, did you tell him to stop recording?
No, in fact, I told him to continue recording.
Okay. He can continue.
Now, did you see that little, when he says something that he says or didn't say or that was happening that he don't like, after he says it, he'll do a forced half-ass, not a grin, but like, yeah, you know, I wanted to bust him in the fucking teeth. More clenching his teeth than anything. And that makes him mad. And then you have this right over here.
To record, given what?
As long as he backed up and gave me an appropriate distance.
Okay. And so when you asked.
Watch out, I need a piece.
No, he did not.
Okay. And so what did you do next?
I gave him 3 additional warnings to back up.
Okay. And did he obey those orders?
No, he did not.
And what, if anything, did you do with the driver of the stopped vehicle, the Hyundai?
At that point, I chose to release the driver of the Hyundai and then focus my attention on Jose de Castro.
Okay. And
How are you
for
tonight?
the record, officer, at that point in time, were you the only uniformed officer, the only officer present at the scene?
Yes, ma'am.
And so at this point, you were dealing with the stop driver as well as an unrelated individual and having to make contact.
I love
with
this
the
song.
individual.
Yes,
And at that point, the defendant was not being cooperative.
correct, yes.
So you release the driver of the Hyundai. What do you tell that person to let her go?
I just said that she was free to go, simply.
And subsequently, did you turn your attention on the defendant?
Yes.
And can you tell Judge Zimmerman the nature of your interaction with the defendant after that?
I ordered de Castro to the front of my patrol vehicle while pointing at it and told him to use it
And what was the purpose of detaining him?
for obstructing my initial traffic stop at the Hyundai.
And did he obey your lawful order?
No, he did not.
Now, what did you just say there?
Castro to the front of my patrol vehicle while pointing at it and told him to use it
And what was the purpose of detaining him?
for obstructing my initial traffic stop at the Hyundai.
And did he obey your lawful order?
No, he did not.
And what happened next?
I too.
He continued filming me. He continued pointing toward my patrol vehicle, continued telling him he was detained. All the while, he just continued shifting his body around, recording me on the phone, and refusing to go to the car.
Okay. So what did you do in response?
I used my hand to escort him to the patrol vehicle. So I placed my hand on his shoulder, and at that point, he swatted my hand away.
And
Swatted.
what happened next?
That's when I grabbed him by the shirt, and I spun him around, and then we ended up at the front of my patrol vehicle. We were also seen.
At some point, did you request additional units to respond to the scene?
I did. That was before I grabbed him,
Okay.
when I initially detained him.
Okay. And I'm sorry, once you had him at your patrol vehicle, the front, the hood of your patrol vehicle, what happened next?
Officer Dingley, another officer in the area, had arrived, and he came over to help me handcuff.
And were you successful, or did the defendant cooperate?
Blessed and highly
He did
favored.
not cooperate. I told him.
I
7
appreciate
times
you
to place
being
my patrol
here.
vehicle. He did not listen. I told him 6
Well,
times.
fine.
He did not listen. It wasn't until I told him that he was going to go to jail, that was the consequence of not listening, that he allowed us to handcuff.
Okay. And after he was handcuffed, well, when he was handcuffed, was it just you and Officer Dingle present?
Yes.
Once he was handcuffed, what, if anything, happened next?
He continued to argue with my partners, Officer Dingley and some other officers that were starting to show up. And then I focused my roles in completing the report and calling the sergeant to request a supervisor.
And at some point, was he arrested for account of obstructing a public officer
Yes,
and also for resisting a public officer or resisting arrest?
yes.
And was he, at any point in time during your interaction with him or your continued visual of his interaction with other officers, did he cooperate with any of the officers present at the scene?
No, he kept shifting around, and normally we have people stand still in front of our car, and I could hear him.
He kept shifting around. Normally we chain them up. We chain the dog up, and then we tell it to sit still and that it can't move at all. So if you're shifty, you're sketchy.
arguing with the other officers.
So stand at attention, boy, and bend over and spread them.
You indicated you had your body worn camera turned on at this time.
Yes,
Why is there no video?
Did you have an opportunity to look at your body worn camera prior to court today?
yes, I did.
I would just show you a snippet of it in your honor.
And are you lying through your fucking teeth today?
We're going to be screen sharing through Zoom.
He's thirsty. He's nervous. Now I wonder if they let Chili bring in his cup and shit and drink up there on the stand. Shock proof? I bet I can shock you. Hi. Welcome. Another sock 'em. Rock 'em, sock 'em. Sock 'em, rock 'em. This dude nervous as a motherfucker and mad.
Okay. Officer, are you able to see, there's not a screen over there, so I might have to bring mine over to you, with the court's permission. Okay.
This bitch, boy.
Okay. Officer, I'm showing you, my computer screen. Is it fair to say that what's being shared on the screen, as well as what's showing up on my computer screen, are two files, one labeled 416b.mp4, the other one labeled 468, number sign 1.mp4.
Yes.
Okay. I am just gonna, and for the record, Your Honor, all body worn camera footage have been disclosed to the defense well in advance of today's trial. I'm gonna just show you a brief snippet.
A brief snippet. We're going to frame the narrative and the context that we want everybody to focus on and to really imprint in the judge's head that's already showed her bias to our fucking cause. And just to, sugarcoat our fucking 6 months in the fucking county.
The one labeled 468 underscore number sign 1.mp4. Do you recognize what's depicted here?
Yes, this is the initial pen data I had stopped.
Okay, and so do you recognize this particular file as the body worn camera of your interaction, first with the Hyundai and then with the defendant on March 15th of 2023?
Yes.
Okay, and does this show the time that you acted?
They're looking for something.
Okay, similar to what
They
you
don't
testified
seem
to
that they can see it here.
And you've had an opportunity to
I don't know why the judge ain't.
see this entire like, 12.5-minute long.
Lawyer ain't
Yes.
objecting.
Does it fairly and accurately depict the traffic stop and also your interaction with the defendant on the date and time that we've been discussing?
Yes.
Oh, they're framing the narrative.
Yes.
Your Honor, I move to admit and subsequently publish the file labeled 468 underscore number sign 1.mp4.
All right, shot proof.
Admitted and published.
Preach it. And like I said, they keep looking like they can't see it. Fuck that.
Your Honor, permission to just.
Parking lot. His body camera's half obstructed. Oh, how convenient. That ain't 10 or 15 foot. Why would you go get in the passenger side? I'm sorry, that don't make good sense to me, especially in a non-locked vehicle. Yeah, witness for the state. You're right. Like I said, I hadn't thought of that. I appreciate the input. And I hadn't seen any of the body camera. I fast forwarded through all this. Like I said, I had watched but about 10 minutes of it till I brought y'all in, and it was in high speed. So, well, it's contempt of cop. And if you go back and watch the first part of it, he called that one cop that jerked his phones out of his hand that the judge confiscated without a fucking signed warrant from a federal judge, just to make sure he couldn't put it on YouTube. And Judges of Nevada Incorporated, not sure who they are, but if they're the Judges of Nevada and they're running this channel, that's a conflict of interest. So there's criminal and federal suits against the judge, I think. (42 USC 1983, 1985). And there's several others. Speed this shit up a little bit. I don't mind hit them thumbs. Like I said, I think old Judge here in this deal, I think she fucked up. I think she fucked up. We'll throw subtitles up there. I don't generally run them.
I'm going to pause it at timestamp 9 minutes and 16 seconds. At this point, officer, do you see the unrelated male that you've been talking about enter a camera view?
Yes, I do.
And could you just point to where he is in the,
Oh, absolutely. They all work for the state bar.
Yes, right.
and let the record reflect he identified a male wearing like a light colored blue jacket towards the middle of the screen. And is this the individual that you have been talking about, the defendant here today?
Yes.
I must have missed it. Let's slow it down a little bit again. He's right up here. He backed up a few steps. Not your business. Front of my car. Let's get it to normal. Now, where did the other car go? Did he turn her loose? Did I miss something there? Stay away from my driver. She deserves privacy. This is not your business. Now, let's slow this down. I did see old Chill throw his hand up a little bit. Right here. And so he didn't swat his hand. He come up, pulled it up like a little faggy, and then kind of flicked him off like a fly. He didn't ever touch him. Go back to regular speed. I didn't see Chili fucking hit him there. All right, there's a silver car, but that one's there. Maybe the other. Now the silver car is going now. What the fuck? Did I miss something? We're at 33:22. Now the silver car's there. Now the silver car's gone. No, it's still there. That car's gone now. Where'd that car go? Is it, what the fuck is all of this? Where did that car go? I mean, anybody got any ideas? Am I missing something here? I mean, did they edit the video? Is this a script? Is that it? Leave? That's it. Leave it. No. He's pointing at the car. I mean, what happened to the car? Where did the fucking car go? Did y'all ever hear the officer tell him to leave? Chili was sitting there pointing at the car. And then in the next fucking clip, it's fucking gone. Where did the fucking car go? An obstructor out here. He points at the car there. They turn, you can see the car there. They're still in that parking spot. They don't change your fucking. Chili steps back. 2 more steps, still in the. There's the car. The car's gone. One more time. But this time we're going to watch it a little fast. Wow. 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 Holy shit. I mean, it was about 5 or 6 seconds, but you never hear the car. You never see the officer motion for the car to leave. He's constantly engaged with them. What happened to the fucking car? What happened to the girl's information? Did he? I mean, wow. I mean, it seems to me his lawyer really let him down. I mean, did y'all seen that like 3 times, right? Holy shit. You saw it. You saw it here first. The vanishing fucking car. Now, who's in on the script? Is Chili in with the state and everything else? Did the green screen blow away? Did the fucking car sprout fucking wings? What the fuck? What's up, Brandon? How you doing? The disappearing fucking car. Poof. Not only did the cops make fucking cars disappear in traffic stops or bodies even, they make them fucking disappear in unison. Well, I mean, ain't that part of the appeals process? I don't know how you get to a federal level. So I'm not that educated like old Rick'em Crudum. Well, we'll talk about him on the other channel. But the car just disappeared. Oh, I guarantee you, Chili's fixing to get fucking paid. So send money to his books. I don't even know where he's at. He's in Nevada and Las Vegas. So, but fucking a disappearing car. Let's see how far away he is. Where's the fucking time on this? It's 49 minutes. Okay. I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you.
Officer at 11:38 or just a little.
When you drop today,
Another officer that comes.
well, hell, we'll have to fucking pull it up here in just a minute, Brandon. Hell, we'll look at it. I mean, if that's cool with you. Now, he kind of is resisting here, Chili. I hate to say it. They told you you're going, and now you're trying to talk your way out of it. Now, I got to fucking give it to you. You took the ride, and then you're fucking sitting on 6 months. You know, got respect for that. It sucks being in county 6 months. Hell, it sucks being anywhere in jail for any time. And fucking well, I mean, it just does. And sitting 6 months in county, especially unprepared to go. And most of the time on some of that shit, they'll give them, some time. Well, in some cases, well, you're right, Shockproof. You can't resist unlawful, but and actually, the Constitution says not only do we have a right to resist it, we have a fucking duty. Go any means necessary. Pew pew pew. We're having a fucking pork roast. So, there's that. Anyway, let's move a little further down the line. Like I said, I hadn't seen a whole lot of this. I want to get to where his attorney comes up. Well, if you got the right pew-pews, you could end up with a lot more of that.
Morning, Mr. Unwell. How are you?
That said, Mr. Mitchell, the tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of tyrants and patriots alike. So, and sometimes if people would have stood quicker, things wouldn't have got as far down the line. They should have. I mean, just by what little bit I've seen. And see, Shock. You hit on something that most people don't know. Even the attorney that Chile hired is working for these guys. He's an officer in these guys' club. Well, to be an officer, you got to be a trusted rank, vetted member, vetted to follow what they want. But you're also running into maritime law.
Well, how many feet did you order?
Speaking of which, we're at 4820. Let's see. We're going to come back here. See that gold fringe right there? That gold fringe on that flag. For one, is a desecration of the flag. But yet, because it's altered. The flag is altered. But it also represents, and claims that this is a military maritime court-martial. Now, the fringe on the Oklahoma State flag, I don't know what that means. But I do know what that means. And I wish in this video, let me see, I can't get there from here. Let me see if I can do it this way. No, because they've got this banner right across, and I really want to see what's at the top of the flagpole. Because that has a burn. So anyway, so we were 4820.
Morning, Mr. Unwell. How are you?
Very well. How many feet did you order the defendant to back up specifically?
I never had an opportunity to give him an exact distance.
How far back did you intend to have him back up unit?
In the background of the video, you could see that there was a parked semi-truck and light pole. I would have directed him somewhere in that area, which would have been outside the 21 feet.
Your testimony is you never told him an exact distance.
No, he's holding to a 21 footer that's not there. And I still want to know where'd the fucking car go. Somebody better get that clipped.
Back up, correct?
Yes, he never allowed me to.
What do you mean you never allowed
So now,
to do?
I asked him to back up, and he continued arguing with me, so I can never specify the exact distance for him.
But you had time to give him 5 commands to back up, is that correct?
Yes,
Your testimony is he
you see them little, that mouth squinch again? You right to state.
never backed up when you were giving him commands, is that correct?
if he backed up, it may have been inches, but he didn't substantially back up.
Substantially back up. Now, he backed up at least 2.5 to 3 foot.
And you just reviewed the body worn camera from your chest, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. You didn't notice him backing up every time you directed him to back up?
he did not back up,
So you backed up 0 feet? In your opinion? Based on that video?
not 0 feet.
What was that?
He didn't back up 0 feet, he was moving his feet. As to exactly how far he went back, I don't know, but it wasn't substantial.
It wasn't substantial, even though I didn't give any directives, and he kept backing up.
What would have been substantial in your opinion? Or what do you mean by that?
I would have guided him if he wasn't arguing me back toward the light pole in the park semi-truck.
And
Would have been outside of the 21 feet.
Well, let's just go back and fucking look. Well, here's the semi truck. So he would have put him one parking spot length. That's 20 foot. Well, 16 to 20 foot. Then what looks to be at least 1.5 lanes, if not 2 lanes of travel between this parking spot and here. Because you got to have room to back up and everything else. I don't see a light pole in this particular picture. I don't see a light pole anywhere. I see a tree here, but I see a semi here. Let's see if we can get a different. Well, there's a light pole there. Now, is this the light pole he's fucking talking about? I mean, come on. I mean, fuck, that's, I don't know, it's hard to tell, but that's fucking across the fucking parking lot. That's up there halfway to this other fucking building over here. I mean, is this cop fucking stupid, crazy, or fucking power hungry? There's a light pole there. There's a light pole there. There's a light pole here. Here's the semi that we're looking at. There's not a light pole down through there. There is a light pole right there. So maybe one of them. So, but still, that light pole right there, that's 1, 2, 3 parking spots over. A parking spot plus at least 1.5 lanes travel, and then another parking spot. So he wants to put him 100 foot away, roughly. Just roughly, a fair approximate distance. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and parking spot 4 foot. So that'd be, no, they're 8 foot wide and 15 foot long minimum. So there's 24. $60 foot at a bare minimum. at a bare minimum. Well, no, there's been backed up, held up 10 foot. Now, it ain't a law, but there's case law supporting it. But that is a reasonable distance. So, from my understanding, I can't quote you the case law, so no. Anyway, yeah, go check this out. And like I said, that cop's up there for the longest fucking time. And I can't stomach the fucking lies. But let's get to Chili here. We'll hear what Chili got to say.
No further questions, Your Honor.
You redirect?
No, thank you.
Thank you, officer. You may come down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Officer,
Sometime in the end, please.
it's a state rest.
At this point, we do.
Let's dispense having witnesses.
Your Honor, I call Jose Castro.
The Dishonorable Ann Zimmerman. Wonder if she's any kin to Mark.
You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
Please be seated.
Mr. Castro, before you testify, I'm obligated to inform you that you have the right to testify in this proceeding, but you also have the right to remain silent. And should you choose to remain silent, I may not hold that against you in making my decision. Do you understand that?
I do.
Did you still have to testify?
Yes, I do.
All right,
You have a YouTube channel?
Now, well, back up just there. Let's slow this down a little bit. Y'all heard that, didn't you?
I solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
Please be seated.
Mr. Castro, before you testify, I'm obligated to inform you that you have the right to testify in this proceeding, but you also have the right to remain silent. And should you choose to remain silent, I may not hold that against you in making my decision. Do you understand?
All right, you got that right. I read that real slow. That if you don't say anything, I can't hold anything against you. Interesting that I may not hold it against you. And my decision.
In that,
I do.
and you still testify in this proceeding, but you also have the right to remain silent. And should you choose to remain silent, I may not hold that against you in making my decision. Do you understand that?
I do.
And you still wish to testify?
Yes, I do.
All right, please go ahead.
You have a YouTube channel?
Yes, I do.
Can you give some insight into what that channel was about?
Now, automatically. Now, this dude, I don't think objected to anything that the state, any of the state's questions in any way. No law, only opinions. So, well, there's natural law, and this violates natural law, and which fuck video cameras and not having, well, let's get to a few more of these questions, and then we'll get off on something else. We'll have a look at Brandon's video or whatever.
Relevance.
What's the relevance?
Your Honor, the relevance is that we're presenting a First Amendment defense, and the defendant is a member of the press. There's different standards for First Amendment rulings where there's public policy issue. Can give insight into that.
I'm gonna allow it for a bit and see where it goes.
Yes, I do have I do have a YouTube channel, and the reason I have a YouTube channel is because of how many cops kill people every year, how many cops hurt, maim, torture, rape, and kill people every single.
All right. Now he's testifying and not to his benefit here. Kelly, constitutionally, you should have let the camera speak for itself, brother. I do believe here.
Single year. It's such an epidemic that the rest of the world, I get thousands of emails saying, only in America does this happen. I started filming cops because when I was cheated in 2002.
Objection at this point.
Now, let's come back, get to the question again.
You have a YouTube channel?
Yes, I do.
Can you give some insight into what that channel is about?
Objection, relevance.
Relevant.
Your Honor,
Okay, objected to relevance. He asked,
relevance is that we're presenting a First Amendment defense, and the defendant is a member of the press. There's different standards for First Amendment rulings where there's public policy at issue. He can give insight into that.
I'm gonna allow it for a bit and see where it goes.
okay, allow it for a bit, see where it goes.
Yes, I do have I do have a YouTube channel, and the reason I have a YouTube channel.
The link to the video is right here. Oh, let's become a member. Let me see, share, copy, then come over here, paste. That should be it. That work? Well, we didn't watch all of the questioning and stuff, and see, I even missed the part where they was questioning the cop on First Amendment training and shit like that, and he makes a statement. We were some of my last schooling had to do with First Amendment auditors. Yeah, they got into all that, and I ain't trying to bore everybody with every little detail. I don't watch all of it. I don't have to watch all of it. I can catch the clips and go from there. And I knew just as soon as I seen the phone, and like I said, I've got to where I watch most of these in high speed.
Because of how many cops kill people every year, how many cops hurt, maim, torture, rape, and kill people every single year. It's such an epidemic that the rest of the world, I get thousands of emails saying, only in America does this happen. I started filming cops because when I was cheated in 2002.
Objection at this point. Relevance.
Well, this is the reason I'm the press.
This narrative.
All right, now she's objecting to his narrative. Now, he does kind of get on a soapbox explaining why he's doing what he's doing. But he's not necessarily wrong. Now, I can't speak to his thousands of emails and shit like that. Some of this, Chili's feeding his ego. Chili's feeding his ego. And I'm pretty sure it's right through here that he says it. And y'all catch it.
So can you ask him a question?
Yes, Your Honor.
So his attorney asked him a question about his YouTube channel. What is it about? And he starts telling what it's about. The state objects to it. And then the judge tells him to ask him a question. And you can say, Chili, I'd be mad too. Yeah, I mean, look at this. He's flustered. And he should be with his attorney, but he's a constitutional law scholar. You would think he knows this guy works with the other people in the fucking room.
What type of films do you make for your YouTube channel?
I only film police in their official capacity. I'm known across the country and across the world.
Right there. Across the country and across the world. And look at that sense of satisfaction. And just matter of fact, these motherfuckers, so he's suffering from some of the same narcissistic delusions. And I'm not saying Chili's bad, but yeah, he's got some narcissistic tendencies there. And y'all want to hear it again?
How many cops kill people every year? How many cops hurt, maim, torture, rape, and kill people every single year? It's such an epidemic that the rest of the world, I get thousands of emails saying, only in America does this happen. I started filming cops because when I was cheated in 2002.
Objection at this point, relevance,
Well, this is the Richard Freeman member of the press.
this narrative.
So can you ask him a question?
Yes, Your Honor. What type of films do you make for your YouTube channel?
I only film police in their official capacity. I'm known across the country and across the world.
And why do you engage in that type of filming?
So I'm going to ask you, Mr. Mead, to direct your questions about the incident in question.
The reason I was filming this report that day.
Objection, Your Honor. Oh, I'm sorry.
So
It wasn't a question posed. So
Oh,
Mr. DeCastro, updating question, why did you report that vehicle?
I was filming that cop because that's what I do for a living. I'm a member of the press and I invoked my right to be press. I always invoke my right to be press within the first 10 seconds of engaging with police. And I have thousands of videos to prove this.
No, look at that. Look, he's giving that prosecutor. You fucking can't do shit like that to me. My ego and my videos prove it. You're beneath me. How dare you?
So this is how you make money.
This is not how specific.
You hear the judge now. Who's asking the questions here?
Question posed. So
Mr. DeCastro, updating question, why did you report that vehicle?
I was filming that cop because that's what I do for a living. I'm a member of the press and I invoked my right to be press. I always invoke my right to be press within the first 10 seconds of engaging with police. And I have thousands of videos to prove this.
Okay. He said he's invoking his right to be press. You know, said it's established he's got a YouTube channel and whatnot.
So this is how you.
This is not how.
And you can see he turns to the, towards the judge and not looking at the prosecutor now. She asked, so this is how you make money. And very condescendingly, I might add.
Specifically, I make money from selling legal documents to people.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you recall the officer?
So when did the judge start getting to ask questions? When it's the defense that's on the stand and I guess she's judge and jury, so because you don't have a jury. So a bench trial, that means that you surrender your rights. Man, that's a big bench trial, ain't it? 6 months. So I guess she, if she wants clarity in something. But to me, that question right there shows her, her fucking skewed view. She's already made up her mind. She's mad about it. You heard it in the beginning. So you hate all fucking law enforcement officers.
Officer telling you to back up?
Yes, I do.
And what did you do after he told you to back up?
I took a couple steps back. I just showed him that I was willing to back up a little bit. However, if I may, in Arizona, they created a 10-foot wall.
Objection, relevance, we're not in Arizona, it's the state of Nevada.
So I'm going to allow it because I think that goes to why he kept saying 10 feet. in the video.
True. He should have kept his mouth shut.
I will take judicial notice that you're not in the state of Arizona, you're in the state of Nevada.
Well, a federal judge struck it down, Your Honor, and what,
Stop. Can you ask me a question?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, he does a good job of biting his tongue. But the judge already knows.
Approximately how many feet did you back up?
I backed up a foot or two. I was at least 10 feet away from that car that the driver was pulled over in.
And when you spoke to the driver, what did you say?
Just after she was okay. But the reason I film police is because they abuse people so often.
Do you recall the officer telling you not to speak with the driver?
Yes.
And did you stop the driver after that carry again?
Absolutely not.
Did the officer ever give you a specific distance back up to?
No, he didn't.
If he did, would you have complied with that?
Sure,
Did you believe you were complying with the officer's commands?
100%. I also informed him I'm a member of the press and I'm a constitutional law scholar, that this is what I do.
Now that right there, constitutional law scholar, and this is what I do. No, and I'm not saying no boy ain't short. I don't know. Presentation sometimes.
Do you recall the officer explaining to you why he decided to arrest you?
There's several parts to the reason why he said he was going to arrest me. He said he was going to arrest me because I wouldn't turn my head a certain direction. If I didn't turn and face the car with my head, that he would place me under arrest instead of just giving me a ticket.
Do you recall him explaining why he decided to detain you before he arrested you?
He decided to detain me because he said I was obstructing, which from my understanding is a physical act where I would have to get in the way. He said that the driver deserves privacy. I believe my First Amendment rights are not up for.
Well, and it was what they call it, the district Supreme Courts or the fucking whatever, the federal courts by district, and Arizona and Nevada are like sister states and shit. Yada yada yada.
For feelings.
Did he explain to you that the basis of your detention was
All right, Brian.
related primarily to the issue of privacy or the issue of you backing up?
Well, I think from the officer's testimony, we can see that he's scared of the driver, scared of me, scared of everything. They teach them to be afraid of everything. So I had 2 cameras out. It's identified as a member of the press. I'm sorry, repeat the question. I'll get it specific for the record.
Sure. The question was, did the officer explain to you that the basis of your detention was because of you not backing up or because of the privacy issue of the driver?
It was both. He said that he told me to back up. I backed up a little bit. Then he said, she deserves privacy. And then I told him to go get in your car, little doggy, and write your ticket. And at that point, his face turned to be red and his veins and his neck stuck out because we were over 20 feet away. And you had to holler to hear each other because the wind was probably 30 miles an hour.
Did you at any point attempt to hit any of the officers involved?
No, absolutely not.
Did you intentionally swat any of the officers?
What's
Absolutely
up,
not. He was giving me unlawful
sweetie?
commands. I should not have been detained after identified as a member of the press. If he ever reached a hand out towards me,
How you doing? Running? Are you breathing hard while you're running, dog? No, we're just looking over some of Chili's stuff.
me,
How
wrestle
you
and teach
doing?
MMA, and I have for 30 years. So it's just a natural reaction as I'm retreating from somebody. If I may have put my hand up, as he said, as he testified.
Now, I missed this earlier. Now, Chili's a MMA fighter.
You intentionally swat any of the officers?
Absolutely not. He was giving me unlawful commands. I should not have been detained after identified as a member of the press. If he ever reached a hand out towards me, I wrestle and teach MMA, and I have for 30 years. So it's just a natural reaction as I'm retreating from somebody. If I may have put my hand up, as he said, as he testified himself, I certainly am a law-abiding citizen. I don't break the law. So I would not have tried to assault an officer under any circumstances.
Under any circumstances. So he's taught MMA for years. That's, I mean, I ain't saying he ain't. That's just a new one on me.
Is it possible that during the interaction there was inadvertent contact between the officer?
Sure, he decided to go hands-on with me when he was giving me unlawful commands. And there was absolutely
So where you running off to, sweet? He was giving all of unlawful commands.
no reason for it. I was willing to comply with anything he asked within reason because I don't want to have a fist fight with another man on the street.
Do you recall the officer ordering you to go to his patrol vehicle?
I do.
And what did you do in response to that?
Initially, I told him no,
Larkin.
but then when he
Oh,
began
you want them larkin?
to start to grab me and touch me, I said, okay,
The hell,
I'll go over to your
don't
car.
peek
His car
through
was
the window. Come
35
on
feet
in.
away. I then
Yeah,
led
yeah,
him
yeah.
to his car. It's on video, you can see it. I walked right up to his car, and then he insisted still on grabbing me. After he saw me pull out an additional phone, which that's what press people do. We have lots of cameras on us.
And did you inform the officer that you were a member of the press?
Oh, several times. It's in the transcripts. I've transcribed them myself several times. I told him I'm a member of the press.
Now look at that condescending look there. He's mad about it. And he should be. I believe the cop was wrong from what little bit of the body cam footage we looked at, and the disappearing car. Did you see the disappearing car there, sweet?
And did you explain to the officer that you have a background in constitutional law?
Yes, I told him I'm a constitutional law scholar, which was the moniker given to me by other people who are also, they have their own channels, their own press. And that's what some other lawyers on another channel called me 3 years ago. And I since adapted.
So, a bestowed title. Kind of, his ego gets too big for him in here, I think.
The moniker.
And just to get some further background, were you looking for a police report on this particular day?
No, there's the cops hide on the side of the road to pull people over. It's pretty regular in our country. I was just in the parking lot there. I saw that Mr. Bork had somebody pulled over, concerned for her safety. I began to film.
And why do you think that law enforcement traffic stops are relevant to the public?
That's where most people get killed.
Objection, relevance. Stating that question, which is right.
Stating.
People get killed.
Objection, relevance. Stating that question, which is right.
Stating.
I'll pass the witness around.
I have no questions for this witness.
Thank you, sir. You may step down. Mrs. Fentress?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the argument by the state.
Your Honor, the state has to find the defendant guilty of both the obstructing a public officer as well as resisting a public officer charge against him. The video very adequately portrays, and I don't think it's disputed by the defendant, what the context was of the interaction with the officer. I would venture to say that had the defendant just complied with the original order to not engage with the driver and to back up, we wouldn't be here. He wouldn't have found himself further engaging with Officer Bork. This is not a First Amendment issue. As you heard over and over and over again on video, Officer Bork did not have a problem with the defendant recording. It's not a First Amendment issue. It's an officer safety issue. Here you have an officer who conducted a lawful traffic stop. You saw the nature of the stop. There was no animosity between the officer and the driver. It was rather peaceful. They were engaged, banter back and forth. He would have, as he testified, he was trying to determine whether he was going to cite her or let her go with a warning. And then you have an individual, the defendant, introduce himself to the situation. Traffic stops, Your Honor, are inherently dangerous, particularly in crowded parking lots. I guess anywhere, I would venture to say. This officer was reasonable in thinking that anyone who approached in the manner the defendant approached his scene would have or would fear for his safety, or at least be suspicious of this individual's motives coming in. The officer had no problem with the report. The officer had no problem with the defendant observing. It was when he inserted himself into this lawful detention that was occurring with the Hyundai driver that the officer turned his attention onto the defendant. This is not a First Amendment issue. This is an individual who took what he perceived to be his rights too far. The officer was well within his right, as well as acting reasonably when he asked him to back up. That 21-foot rule, it's appropriate. He said that was the training that they received in terms of the distance that's allowed for.
He said that was a training they received, even though they quoted case law out of fucking, district, Supreme Court, whatever the fuck it is, out of fucking Arizona, that upheld the argument.
Someone who needs to do them harm. It's a threat.
The training. And look at how pissed off this bitch is. Look at her. I feel your pain, sister. They're up in our shit.
Assessment. We don't know when the defendant approached whether he had a gun concealed, whether he had a knife.
We don't know nothing. So we have to treat them like they're the fucking worst thing on the fucking planet. We don't know that they're not a criminal, so we have to treat them like a criminal until they fucking prove that they're not only not a criminal, they're a compliant, willful slave.
Concealed, whether they had other weapons, and you'll hear multiple times in the video, Officer Bork yelling, "Stop reaching, stop reaching." This is an unknown, when defense counsel asks Officer Bork all these questions about how it is that you do this, and Officer Bork has to respond, it depends on the situation, it depends on the totality of the circumstances. Here was an officer acting alone, individually, engaged one-to-one with the driver. He had no problem with it. You insert another individual who enters the scene in the manner that the defendant did, and now this officer's attention is going to be divided. He had every reason to fear for his safety as well as that of the driver. Again, if he had just complied with the officer's commands or demands to back up, and a lot was made about, hey, he didn't have an opportunity to tell the defendant exactly how far back. As the officer testified, even just with the, hey, back up, the defendant didn't back up, not willingly. That's why the officer had to continue to engage with him and force him into the situation. Had he complied, he would not have been charged with obstruction. Had he complied initially, he would not have been charged with resisting.
What do y'all think?
You are going to have to assess credibility.
Do you think that have found a reason? No, and then you're going to have to assess the credibility. I'm surprised she ain't grinning like a fucking possum. That bitch is sour like she's sucking on lemons. It damn sure ain't this bitch here, is it? Them are two different people. Talk about photo chop. Fucking a lot of booze and methamphetamines.
There's nothing in the video, or Officer Gordon's testimony that would cause the court to question his veracity or his intention for that matter. He was very honest in that he didn't believe the defendant wasn't trying to harm him necessarily with the SWAT. That's why the defendant was charged with a battery on a protected person or police officer. But that SWAT, Your Honor, I would argue, was meant to resist. At that point in time, the officer was trying to detain him and subsequently arrest him on the instruction.
You're right.
Video. And so at this point, I think we proved by
Willful slave,
beyond a reasonable doubt that the
compliance
defendant
slave.
did surrender, Officer Gordon's investigation and detention of the Hyundai driver, and that he resisted the officer's arrest and for attempt to arrest him. And so we would ask that you find the defendant guilty of both.
Come on in here, sweets.
Yes, Your Honor. So first of all, you cannot obstruct an unlawful order. I disagree with the state that this is not a First Amendment issue. The First Amendment in this context actually has two parts. There's the filming and the right to film within a reasonable distance. The case law in all federal circuits, Your Honor, there's no 21 feet rule that's been approved by any court which I'm aware. There is a 10-foot rule. That seems to be the rule that is applied by most of the federal circuits in interpreting the First Amendment. I submitted a bench brief that kind of goes through that issue if the courts have a chance to review that.
I don't have that. When did you submit it?
It was submitted yesterday. Your Honor.
I mean, at this point, I would move to strike because it's untimely, but I got it this morning.
Now, she's trying to knock down what she should have known already about the fucking 10-foot rule. She's a prosecuting attorney wanting to prop her bullshit up on a 20-foot rule of, what would they call it? Protocol or policy over law. And she's claiming that she was notified of the federal fucking statutes. Now, mind you, this ain't a jury trial. This is a bench trial. The judge should know the fucking federal rulings. And if not, she has a duty just in hearing them to do a little fucking research and due diligence. But we don't get that.
So the officer's testimony to that, there's essentially this 21-foot distance where anybody can charge an officer and cause physical harm to an officer. If that is applied universally, Your Honor, it totally diminishes and violates the First Amendment. That is, as the officer testified, a 21-foot radius that he can attempt to impose. I believe his testimony was anytime there's not an obstacle between a person and somebody that law enforcement is interacting with. And that's just not what the law requires, Your Honor. The First Amendment gives their media, new media, old media, it gives individuals the right to film government agents. There's no dispute that that's the requirement. And if the officer is applying this 21-foot circumference to all law enforcement interactions, he's effectively limited the ability to film law enforcement going about their duties. The commands to not talk to the driver are also not based on any actual legal justification. There's no right to privacy in public, whether you're engaged with law enforcement or not. There's no requirement or no statute or law that citizens can't interact with drivers that are interacting with law enforcement. So what's taking place here, Your Honor, is that this officer to essentially act as the legislature
Here in a minute.
created these rules that have no basis in any law in fact are contrary to the First Amendment. Again, you can't obstruct an unlawful demand, so there is no obstruction of justice here. Resisting arrest, Your Honor, the court can see the video. Essentially, what happened is walked over to the front of the vehicle. There was some dispute about why he was being detained. That was discussed. In case law in that area, Your Honor, is that it is an unlawful arrest, which it wasn't.
That's the way that workshop, bro.
Arresting him for violating.
Say, I don't understand why he waived his right to a fucking jury trial. I don't understand it. Obstruction, to me, my understanding is a criminal charge, even though I agree with you, the state can't be the complainant. It's a physical act. All of this other shit, they're trumped up charges. And the cop did say that the driver deserved privacy in public. But so on a bench trial, they can't. There's no appeal. I mean, I don't know the process. I'm not familiar enough with the process. Where does it go from there? Does he just do it 6 months and then try to? I mean, then try to bring a federal lawsuit while he's sitting there on wrongful conviction. How does that work? You know, because I don't know. It seems to me that but they take him into custody immediately. So obviously there's no appeal to the sentencing.
These unlawful orders that they're pronouncing. Again, case laws, you passively resist an unlawful arrest, and that's all that they're doing. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Castro, please stand.
Now then. Hold on. Hit it at normal.
The problem with the argument that your attorney makes is it completely fails to consider the safety of the officer and the safety of the driver.
Now. Oh. The problem with the argument your attorney makes is it fails to consider, it takes into account all the laws, but it fails to consider something that there's not legislation saying or guaranteeing a cop safety in the course of his fucking duties. Oh my God.
The officer doesn't know who you are, and the driver doesn't know who you are. And you don't.
So by that aspect, I don't know who you are, so I can revoke your subscription to consuming oxygen because you act in a legal manner that I find distasteful. And by popular demand and connections to corrupt kangaroo courts and maritime courts, I can impose my feelings and will in spite of what the fucking law is.
Don't have any right to interfere with that officer doing his investigation and deciding if he wants to issue a ticket to this driver. And you also don't have any business approaching the driver. The driver didn't ask you for help.
Now, the driver didn't ask her for help, but did the driver ask the cop for help from Chile?
The driver didn't say, help,
Did she ask for privacy in public?
You didn't see an altercation happening between the officer.
Well, you never know till you walk up and film it. You do have business.
And this driver. The officer didn't protest that you were filming. There's no problem with filming. You can film. It's fine. All right?
Well, now, if he can film and it's fine, why did she throw the fit that she threw prior to, made sure Chili couldn't film it or put it on his YouTube? Well, she can't speak for the fucking driver in any shape, form, or fashion unless it's on the record. Even if she's in court, if she don't testify to that, she can't fucking, speak to it. Now, if the driver would have been in court fucking looking for charges and blah, 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 and I was scared for my life and screaming bloody murder, blah, all this shit because of Chili's presence, they still wouldn't have a leg to stand on, but, they might be coming from a place of some logic or reasonalities instead of fucking a place of their feelings and violation and continuing the rape, murder, and the fucking enslavement of the people to whom supposedly they have sworn an oath to and to protect.
But you did interfere with his investigation. You did interfere with his ability to do his job. You did put him in a position.
No, he did not interfere with his ability to do his job. I didn't know if an officer wasn't there to testify that their reports wasn't admissible. Well, there's supposedly an officer of the court, and it's supposedly a sworn statement and affidavit that attests to the uh, righteousness and the correctness of the charges that they bring. I mean, if that's the case, then none of the charges, so isn't a traffic ticket a police report or part of a police report? So if an officer don't show up in court, and see, every time an officer don't show up, oh, you got to come back. Well, bullshit. But I'm not arguing with you, sweet. I'm asking. So in practicality and everything else, isn't a ticket just a police report? And if it's inadmissible, unless they're there to testify upon the date on that ticket, then it's just hearsay. Game over. What? No, I'm asking. You know, I'm not claiming I'm right, but from a reasonable thought process, to me, that would seem, that it's a valid argument anyway.
Where he is concerned for his safety and the safety of the driver. So I believe the state's met their burden.
Oh, I believe it. There shouldn't be any excuse other than, an immediate death. No, if I don't get a minimal of a 24-hour notification, I get paid for my time for showing up. If there has to be rescheduling, I get per diem, I get travel time, I get gas, all of this other shit. Because I showed up when the court scheduled it. And if the court's not prepared, that's not my problem. Period. And without giving me a minimum of a 24-hour notice that I don't have to appear because of the state's unprepared, not my problem. I show up when the ticket says that officer's not there. Well, we need to continue it because of. No, motherfucker. Because of ain't my problem. I showed the fuck up. We're here to settle this. The state dropped the fucking ball. See you later.
Beyond reasonable doubt, I'm going to find you guilty of obstructing a public officer and resisting a public officer. So I'd like to hear from the state and then your attorney prior to sentencing.
Your Honor, in terms of sentencing, I would ask the defendant enter and complete an impulse control class. I would ask that the court lobby a $500.
An impulse control class. Lobby a $500 fine.
Community service. I would ask that the defendant be ordered to stay out of trouble for the pendency of the case. And I would ask for a 90-day suspended sentence. And that's
so now the state's just asking for a few classes and a $500 fine. What the prosecutor's after? Shockproof, we'll have to have a discussion on that. I know my understanding, I'll put it this way, if you draw a box around your signature, it separates you from the contract. They do force upon you under threat of arrest to sign said vouchers as a promise to appear, whether you want to appear or not. Well, I'll have to do some digging. I've got an old ticket somewhere. Does it state that it is a summons to appear or not a summons to appear? Well, I think Chili's a raging narcissistic egomaniac. I don't think he's a complete idiot. He suffers from, I think, a high intelligence capability. Uh, Shockproof. I'm not aware of that.
As to each count to 1 concurrent.
Look at her. Look at her. Now we're gonna back up just a hair. And I want you to notice this judge start looking at her at the end of it.
You did interfere with his ability to do his job. You did put him in a position where he is concerned for his safety and the safety of the driver. So I believe the state's met their burden beyond reasonable doubt. I'm going to find you guilty of obstructing a public officer and resisting a public officer. So I'd like to hear from the state and then your attorney prior to sentencing.
Your Honor, in terms of sentencing, I would ask that our defendant enter and complete an impulse control class. I would ask that the court levy a $500 fine or the equivalent in community service. I would ask that the defendant be ordered to stay out of trouble for the pendency of the case. And I would ask for a 90-day suspended sentence. And as to each count to 1 concurrent.
I'm gonna let this play out.
That's our request.
All right, thank you.
The state request.
Your Honor, I'm asking the court to sentence the defendant to credit for time served for these offenses. Even if the court concludes, and the court did conclude that he didn't have the right to do what he did, I think the court can see that he sincerely believed that he had the right to do so. That's based on his past experiences and the training he's received in reference to the First Amendment. I don't think there's any intent from the defendant to engage in any wrongdoing in this case, Your Honor. And that being the case, especially because of the public policy interest that issues.
When you say he doesn't wish to engage in any wrongdoing, it seems to me from observing him in the video that.
Now, didn't the state just make their closing statements and shit like that? Who in the fuck is she to interrupt his attorney and the closing statements or request and sentencing? Who is she to interrupt him in the middle of his statement?
He wants this. He wants to get arrested. He wants to get into an altercation with.
Now, see, she is. Anyway, gotta let it play.
He welcomes this. This helps his YouTube channel. He called the officers here in my courtroom today pigs. He called and he's nodding his head up and down. So apparently he hates every law enforcement officer in the United States. All right.
Now, say he's kindly pushing it there.
Please stand up, sir. Are you finished with your request for credit for time served?
I would just emphasize, Your Honor, that.
So she cuts him off. Now she's fucking intimidating his attorney.
The defendant testified and he sincerely believes that he is providing a public service when he reviews and films these incidents. I understand the court may have a different view of that, but when we're talking about First Amendment public policy issues such as supervising people involved in government, I think that is something important to take into consideration, not to show any effect on that. Let's go on, Your Honor.
Right. Mr. DeCastro, please stand. I hereby sentence you to 90 days in the Clark County Detention Center on count 1, 90 days in the Clark County Detention Center on count 2, to run consecutive for a total of 180 days in custody. Thank you.
Sentence suspended or?
Oh, no, I'm going to start right now.
Now, see, you could hear in the background, the deputy's already moving towards them. The state had asked for suspended sentences. She made assumptions. He hates all law enforcement. Now, he didn't do himself any favors nodding his head and giving her a thumbs up. But let's back it up just a little bit and play it, replace.
These incidents. I understand the
What you
court
leave the
may
room.
have a different view of that, but when we're talking about First Amendment public policy issues such as supervising people involved in government, I think that is something important to take into consideration, not to show any effect on that. Let's go on, Your Honor.
Right. Mr. DeCastro, please stand.
Now, what's
I
your
hereby
button?
sentence you to 90 days in the Clark County Detention Center
Unless-
on count 1, 90 days in the Clark County Detention Center on count 2, to run consecutive for a total of 180 days in custody. Thank you.
Sentence suspended or?
Oh, no, I'm going to start right now.
Can you put two, please? I'm right to the shoulder check. This is travesty of justice. Unbelievable. I don't like police. I'll put you in jail for half a year. How long have I been in the year? Just give me the car. Yeah, it's in the. Oh, can I get my keys off? The keys are in there. They're inside my. Can you enjoy? No, in the briefcase. Yeah. I'll get your stuff. It's a minivan, so I'll put it on it. Get a hold of my assistant, James.
Huh. Allegedly. Well, see, well, let me go back. Let's see. I backed all the way off of it. Let's see. When I thought they just popped up in my stuff today. Let me come back in.
For all you ums and ahs.
And oh, that was 11 months ago. Oh, it just popped up my stuff today. So he's already out. I thought it was recent, but it's still, I still feel as valid in my argument, and feel like that, but let's go check out our Nevada judges.
I have concerns about you as well, sir.
See what it says. Well, they got moderators. Court information officer. Non-profit, but they're asking for donations. But it says it's a broken page. Huh. Information officer. Founding, joining our founding director. Yeah, I'm not meeting director. I'm not sure who the meeting director is. So, oh, absolutely. Oh, he was arrested 2 days ago. I don't follow him. You know, like I said, the video and about what I was just looking at, that YouTube page is what popped up. Shockproof, absolutely. Like I said, I'd love to pick your brain on some of this other stuff. So, anyway, let me see if I can find Brandon's again. Oh, that's over on YouTube side of things. I got to mute a minute. I'm with you, Brandon. I'd put I'll be, huh? Huh. Well, I'll be. Um, is there really anything going on before that?
Hey, don't do it, man. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
The cops are coming. The cops are coming. I'm 100% fine with it. 100% fine with it. Hey, producer.
He's a cameraman, dumbass.
That's right.
So I can't fish because my grandfather. I live with my grandfather.
No, sir, you cannot.
I live there.
You may live there. Anybody can live there. You don't own it.
Well, he
That's
owns
the way
it.
it works. Okay.
Hey, listen, I'm just talking to you. Don't you fucking raise your voice. We're just talking.
I'll say
Then fucking
anything
do it.
any way I want.
Then fucking do it.
Or anybody
Then
else.
fucking
I'm
do
telling
it.
you right now.
Then do it. Do
I'm just
something.
doing
Put
it.
your goddamn hand on your gun again.
You see a gun on me?
No, not now.
Well, I don't need a gun.
Yeah, well, apparently you did earlier.
No, I carry a gun on me all the time.
Well, I'm glad you
Anybody that knows me
practice
knows
your.
that.
You might need a gun in Johnson County. You need a gun in real life.
Yeah, there they are.
Mhm.
So my cousins can't fish.
If you don't own the property and you're a guest,
I'm not a guest. I live there. I help my grandfather.
you may live there. You're not considered part of a single family.
Yeah, I am.
No, you're
I
not.
help his welfare.
Well, then you're a renter.
No,
Well, I'm going to let the HOA deal with it.
you let the HOA deal with it. I don't.
HOA is the one that has the final say.
Right. So what the fuck are you saying? The HOA has the final say, not you.
I'm a member of the HOA.
You're the a member.
We are the HOA.
You are not. You're not a HOA. You're
Yeah.
part of the HOA.
Well, we're representing them right now.
All right. So they have.
Okay.
They can come
So-
together and decide. Not just you. You can't just decide.
No, I can decide.
You can
And I
say-
tell you because you're trespassing.
You can. I'm not trespassing.
Well, you are.
I'm not.
No. Brandon is pretty good. Who's this old gal
I'm
coming?
not sure about you yet,
Yeah. Well,
100% sure I'm not.
but we will find out.
I'll find
You
out.
know, as soon as my sister gets here, you got
First of all,
paperwork.
why? Okay, so it is a pond, right? The kids fish in this pond, right?
Right.
We all know that. Yeah. Why are you pulling fish out of this pond like that?
He's not pulling fish.
Why are you doing that?
He's
pulling out
catfish and bass.
But this? Are you fucking
Which
kidding me?
I don't
he,
think
he,
you
he-
Why?
minnow net for bait.
out here.
Why are you catching bait fish?
City, you know?
What are you gonna fish with?
Not really, because there's a billion of them in here.
Go to the fucking Gardner Lake then. Suck on my dick. First of all, like,
Well, she's a
Whip it out. Whip it the fuck
We're not
out.
going to put up with you. Like, that's what you fucking
You don't do
do.
that, do you?
She asked me to suck her dick. I told her to whip it out.
bro, don't fuck with me, bro.
Well, you don't fucking offer.
Bye.
You don't offer if you don't want to pull it out.
Everybody pull fish out here.
You didn't see me pull no fish.
This is for kids just to chill and hang out. It's ridiculous. Why?
But hey,
Why are you out here?
but the
Don't
kid.
you
Wow. Boy, there's some sorry motherfuckers in this neighborhood, ain't they?
But the kids aren't homeowners. The kids aren't homeowners.
Anyway.
The kids aren't
No,
homeowners.
it's not. They're not.
You ain't got no problem. Look at that nipple.
It's because they're dead already.
You're out here constantly, bro. Don't you have a family to watch and shit?
Don't you have your own business, fucking mind?
I do, but holy shit, man.
Yeah, which is our son's, and he fishes this
I
too.
know. I've talked to him all the
He's got
time.
every fucking right.
I've talked to him.
But he's not a homeowner.
Appreciate you.
Oh, no. You guys don't.
I'm a homeowner.
You know what? But yeah, well, you're a homeowner. So only you can fish.
Over him, right?
No, if you want to use that great intelligence you got, read the HOA terms and restrictions, okay? And that'll tell you everything you need to know, all right?
You guys even live here? You guys live here with a sister? Well, you do because we pay our fucking HOA fees, motherfucker, $250 fucking year.
We pay our HOA fees every fucking year. That's right.
You don't have anything to do with them.
Well, I'm out here protecting.
Protecting
They don't need your
Well, because this motherfucker wants to come out with a gun and shit.
He always very curious.
Well, you can't threaten with it.
I didn't threaten anybody with it, or the cops would have arrested me, you stupid ass.
I understand that. It's just cops here are corrupt.
No, the
Yeah.
cops are, we have certain rights, believe it or not.
I know.
And you need to
So
find out.
what's the
what
Third
is right.
Amendment? What's the Third Amendment? If we got rights, start naming them.
Cool, bro.
We don't house military in our homes. What's the Ninth Amendment? Inalienable rights. Right to own property. Right to
You pay
travel.
your fucking HOA fees?
Yes, I do.
What?
I know rights too. What's the Sixth Amendment?
They pay
Right to
fucking
counsel.
fees, not
Do
you.
you understand then what the First Amendment right is? and the
Freedom of
Second
speech.
Amendment?
Freedom of speech. Freedom of the press. Freedom of religion. Freedom to assemble. Freedom to redress our grievances.
Right.
I read the Constitution twice a week.
Good. Then you should fully understand the Second Amendment.
That sounded like a threat too.
Oh yeah, right to carry, right to bear arms freely and uninfringed.
You're exactly correct.
So why has the government infringed on that?
They haven't.
Well, why are not allowed to own military weapons?
Well, that's a little bit of a gray area.
It is.
Gray area.
I understand.
Well, let's
I do
be
understand.
honest.
That is a gray area. That is a gray area.
Look, you and I don't both need bazookas.
But we should be allowed to have them.
We do. We do.
Back in the Revolutionary
Actually,
War,
if you
we
want-
were allowed to own cannons.
Oh, girl,
I get
You know what the Second Amendment's for? In case we need to take over the government one day.
You're right. Don't even get on it. This is not going to turn out well for you at all.
That's what a coward does.
Coward,
That's what a
no,
coward
no,
does.
no,
Flick a
no.
cigarette at me when I'm not
Right
looking. Flick a cigarette at me when I'm not looking, motherfucker.
I got it on camera.
Yeah, I know you did.
Who the fuck are you?
It don't matter.
I don't press charges, dude. That's not the way I do it.
We don't even have to take care of their shit ourselves.
Take care of our own shit.
Oh, yeah, they take care of shit themselves.
No fucking problem.
I don't even know why you're here, bro.
I'm here to make sure stupid shit don't go down.
Come into and respect your bullshit, dude. You're a badass, are you? Are you a badass? Are you?
Well, it's my name, baby. I'll tell you. You grew up a rare.
What's going on?
He says if you can only fish here if you own property. You can't live with somebody here and not fish.
That's right.
That's what he's trying to say.
Okay.
So I live with my grandpa. I help.
HOA thing is right beyond your purview. I get that.
Yeah.
But he has been told to get off the property by multiple homeowners who have a right to this property. He does not. We'll let a judge adjudicate that, but until he does, he's trespassing.
So what he's saying is my grandfather can't permit. Since I live with him, my grandfather can't permit me to fish
Speaking
here.
about him right now.
Is that right? Is that
My
true?
sister owns a house here.
I don't care
I have permission
who owns
to get
what.
fish.
I
Why
will
don't you go
say,
over here and speak with this officer? I'm gonna come over here. Are you involved?
I am.
Okay, I need you to step back over there.
Hey, now,
If you're not
don't you
involved
put your
in
finger in my
this- If
face.
you're not involved in this, I need you to go that way, please. Thank you.
Answer that.
This is the second call we've had on you. You understand? We are all, she's with the HOA, we're all homeowners. He's trespassing on our property, and until a judge adjudicates it, that's fine. If he wants to sue us for his right to trespass on our property, give me a break. I want you up here fishing. How about we
Amen. Amen.
He's trespassing. He's trespassing. If he comes on my personal property and he's trespassing, you have to evict him off my personal property. This is personal property here.
The more you get angry with me, the less I'm gonna do for you.
Yep.
Well, then I will find the next one to do something for me.
I told you.
The more you get angry with that, the less likely it's gonna be for you. Yeah.
I can be as angry as I want.
stupid.
I haven't done anything nasty.
Damn.
Hey, assault.
what the fuck?
I'll calm down when you start protecting our rights.
Shit. I might be a fat. What's the problem? What's the deal with that? Hey,
Hate speech, ain't it? Ain't that
Calm
hate
down.
speech?
And what we were explaining today was his sister is part of this community, correct? So he is a visitor of somebody that is part of your HOA.
Correct.
Then, no, that's a different thing. We don't harvest here. We do not just let people have the owner has to.
And I'm not familiar with you guys' rule about all the communities that got to be collected in this area. We all have some.
We do.
Saying that point says if you're not part of the community, you're not allowed to fish here. Okay, so I understand that. You got rules that are they catch and release only. Okay, obviously this is something you guys need to take up with that person in the HOA. We will see and not come back without.
Okay, if he's on my personal property at my house, can you get him to leave?
Yes.
Then why can't you get him to leave?
You need to leave. You are not a part of this. Okay,
I'm allowed to do this.
Okay, but you're interfering.
I'm not.
You're running your mouth. You're interfering with
that's
this.
freedom of
If you
speech.
continue it up, you will be arrested for interference.
Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech.
Fucking all a lot of time.
I believe so. I was kind of talking with this gentleman. I'll review it here in a minute.
If you wouldn't mind, because if you decide, I just wanted to confirm you did see it and you do have it.
I believe so. I was kind of talking with this gentleman. I'll review it here in a minute.
If you wouldn't mind, because if you decide,
But this guy just threatened me and yelled at me for my freedom of speech. No, time out. Time out. Time out. He's over here pointing his finger at me in my face. I'm interfering. All I was doing was talking. I'm allowed to. No, time out. I'm allowed to talk.
Actually, no. When you're
no, listen. I am allowed to talk.
I don't want to put you in.
Well,
I'm not trying to.
I understand that.
Say your piece. I watched what happened. Okay.
I wasn't interfering. All I was doing was talking.
You have your
I wasn't fighting words.
But you said you were talking.
I was talking.
But if you're talking to them and you're
no, I was just talking.
Okay, I wasn't over here to hear.
Well,
all I heard you say was I was talking. Okay, I will. The main reason I'm asking it is simply because of what he's accused stating.
And this guy over here, he's got problems with me because I'm a faggot. Is that right? Is that appropriate?
I'm sorry.
Is that appropriate? No, I'm asking a question. Is that appropriate?
I'm not here.
Is that? Then I'm not here to talk about
I'm
it.
here to talk to you if you were a witness in a.
I believe I have it.
Okay.
Once I figure out
the complaint process.
Once I know how to do a complaint.
Okay. I didn't know if you did.
I know you got one on you.
I can ask for supervisor to bring one if you would like.
I do. I need one for earlier for Mr.
I'll make
Adams. Is Adams a cop?
Officer Adams is.
Yes. He was making fun of me because of my disability. How do you know my name?
I know your name because we all know your name. So I will be happy to call supervisor after I get all this stuff figured out. Our primary purpose is here. Okay, once we get this done, okay. But again, if you have it on recording of the battery occurring,
I believe I do.
I would like to be able to use that as evidence if you do have it.
All right, here I will stop it right now.
It's up to you, sir.
Wow. Them motherfuckers were off the chain, wasn't they? And by their standard of hate speech, that damn sure seemed like hate speech to me. You know, I'm sorry I didn't watch it full through at regular speed. I've got to where I watch things at high speed and whatnot. So anyway, very interesting video. Mighty interesting video. Provocateurs. So anyway, where that shit was fucking 8 months ago or 11 months ago. But yeah, that's some pretty wild shit. some pretty wild shit. Sorry, catch it. Well, you know when the cops really want to, protect the First Amendment, they're like, well, like that one cop that blew up at him, screaming at him, and he was commenting to the conversation, but he wasn't interfering, and screaming and holler at the guy or whatever. Oh, that's well, okay, Mitchell. Okay, so that was you. Wow. But yeah, that's hate speech. So I make fun of him for not realizing it was him. But so you take care of your grandfather or help take care of him. Hats off to that. And fucking I'll watch that one all the way through here in a bit. That's fucking crazy. So they know you live there with your grandfather. The old boy fucking brandishes a fucking firearm. And I mean, did he pull the gun and threaten anybody with it, or just because there is felonious use of a firearm, and if it's used to, as a threat of intimidation in such manners, that could be, it's threatening intimidation. Brandon, I'm glad you're okay, and I don't care if you gay, faggot, whatever, whatever you want to fucking claim. More power to you. And I, that was no cutback in my day. That's, and was the charges, the dude flipping the cigarette? Would you say that was your cousin? Now, when he put his hand on it, was he like, well, hey, I hear you, I do too, and I'm all about them. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't care what your sexual preference is. In the whole scheme of things, it's not any, any effect on me. So, I mean, you damn sure did. In that video, I wouldn't have took that person as you just by the video and your side of the that side of the camera. I wouldn't have took you as gay. I just So is it hate speech if you're not gay and you say it in anger, or is it only hate speech if you say it to somebody that's gay or has a different sexual preference, orientation, pronoun, adverb, fucking adjective, whatever the fuck? I love them ladies too, and one of the biggest aspirations in my life to be the way I am was a old country song called Ladies Love Outlaws. Well, come to find out, that's a motherfucking lie. Except for my sweet. My sweet loved me long time, all night long. And Trumpy gang never come back home. What, just had to throw that one in there? What, the Lady Love Outlaw. baby loves a stray dog. Outlaws touch ladies somewhere deep down in their soul. Ladies fuck outlaws in ways most guys will never know. Well, grandpas are, pretty fucking awesome motherfuckers. Some of them, ain't, but just don't buy a house in an HOA. What works for us, Bo? What, the outlaws and the ladies? Well, the ladies always get the gooder end of the stick. Or at least a hot pokey end. Oh, you're talking to Brandon. I got you a little slow. I got you. I'm a little slow in the conversation. Country, please. What country? Country music all day long. So, but no, I come across that popped up on the chili deal, whatever on my feed, and I run through it. Hell, I hadn't been live in a minute, and thought I'd fucking, throw one down. I appreciate the company and sweet, my girl. I always love having you around. So, even if you are a lurking, country music, country living, country law. We'll always try to, hit that spot. So, yeah, yeah, it works. Hey, if it works for both of them, they're both happy. Family's family, and we all been young and made fucking reckless decisions and choices, and some of us managed through them by the grace of God, and a few more of us or them get old enough, enough experience, be in better places and to learn and to have a clear understanding, more compassion and understanding, and whatnot. And I don't know how old your grandpa is, but he's old enough to be a grandpa, so he's at least 40. So he can always use some help from a young buck in any shape, form, or fashion. I mean, how many of us make the wisest decisions in our youth? So, but I mean, I can't claim that I make the wisest decision in my fucking old, pruned up old age. 87. Wow. Cherish every minute, brother. Sound like Grandpa was no outlaw too, because 77. But still, that's 3/4 of a bill, man. And you don't get that age being stupid and by being stupid and or not being a little bit tough. So, Oh man, it's definitely been a good evening. I appreciate folks hanging out. I thought I'd throw the. I made a retired lieutenant colonel. Oh. Well, I got respect and admiration for the cause he believed he served. And but I've also got some, little bit different views on military and service, and but I always have admiration for the idea as a young men sign up and go into service under. I think the majority of them, if not all of them, are lied to and brainwashed to obtain such service. But it is what it is. That's a topic for another. But like I said, I've always got fucking respect and admiration for the beliefs that they sign up for. Oh. Well, I think I'm done for the night. I thought I'd drop the link if anybody wanted to come up and chop it up. Ain't that what Nevada convict, the mafia guy. Vegas Vagina Valley. Yeah. History. Vegas Vagina. Anyway. Pray for Miss you, Rachel. My sweet. I'll be. Appreciate y'all hanging out, interacting, fucking making a show of it. At least there ain't a whole lot of shit over here. Don't start no shit, won't be no shit, but fuck around and find out. It's a mile down the road. I forgot who I said. Isn't who in jail? Chili in jail, or did I post somebody else's name out there rambling? It's another reason I record a lot of shit. I say shit I don't remember. Dishonorable Camp. Oh, Vagina Valley? Yeah, Vagina Valley's in jail. Absolutely, he's in jail. So, he sure is. And he's got a little bit of, I think he's got about another year or so to do. Vegas Vagina. See, I was talking shit and I've done, that's how much he means to me. Yeah. So, the mafia guy. I'm connected. You know how you know when a motherfucker's not connected? When that's the first fucking thing out of their mouth. Anyway, that's for the other channel. Vegas Vagina, and Quick Dick on a Stick, and some of that crew. All right, people. Much love. Brandon, I'm glad you're okay. Did y'all try to press charges on that dude for assault for flicking the cigarette? Oh, and congratulations on the views on that sumbitch. And I appreciate you giving me the okay to run through it. And keep doing what you do. I might have to start watching you a little more. I've been studying some other shit, but I appreciate your content, brother. So he was charged. Well, hell yeah, good deal. Good deal. Well, y'all see that shit too. Learn them something. I mean, since they're the ones that called the cops. So pissed off catching bait fish to fish. Because it's catch and release. Fucking retarded. HOAs. You know what HOA stands for, don't you? Hitler's Organizations of Assholes. Organization of Assholes. Hitler's. Fucking HOA. So don't ever buy property in an HOA. Anyway, Brandon. Cop who was fired a few weeks later? EAS? The one that screamed at you? How long ago did this happen, bub? Well, I'm glad he got fired, hopefully for his interaction with you. And the fact he was fired and not allowed to resign, that's up, that's points. Hell, I may just have to go do a. Hey, I understand. Fucking let it be some cha-ching. I get it. And look what you got. What, 13,000 views? Is that what you said? Was it? Let's go back and look. Mm-hmm. 14,000 views 9 hours ago. That's pretty rocking. Well, let me do this again. This is a link to that video, Brandon. It's at 15.8. Okay. Folks that ain't subscribed, go hit him up. And congratulations. fuck it. Let's help this motherfucker get to 20,000 views on this sumbitch tonight. And if you're not monetized yet, hopefully between the views and the watch hours and all, and it catching on, hopefully your subs run up a bunch. So hell, tomorrow we may just do if you're up to it. I'm not saying I can be much help, but we can do a review on it maybe tomorrow, and a Q&A on it over here. If you think it'd help in any manner. So, but I think you've done a stand-up job, sir. So, well, I can tell you it helps a bit. And on a video like that, it been monetized. Hell, you could have made a couple of hundred, a couple of grand on it, depending on if it keeps rolling. If it hits the right traction and whatnot, it could make you some, decent money. There's a couple of videos on my channel that have been a pretty decent stream for, well, one of them for 3 years, and the other one is better than that, but it's been there 18 months. It's one of the 918 videos that he produced for the channel. One of the other ones is just a live stream I'd done. But, hopefully we can get you bumped up. You need to throw in there a suggestion for a thumbs up and a subscription if it ain't your intro, outro, whatever. And there's some things you got to be careful of. That's the reason I've got that other channel. That's one thing I think you might know We the People 918. So he's my partner, co-owner, host, producer, co-producer. I just turned the fucking camera on. He takes care of everything else. He's the tech guy, the editor, fucking all of it. There's some links to some of his other channels that are linked to mine. You might know him. Y'all might know each other. So, but yeah, like I said, if you're interested or game to it, if I hit live tomorrow or whatnot, and do a better look at yours, I can definitely tag you in it, and I guess I need to start learning to put links in, when I do one, add the links in the descriptions or whatever. Like I said, I'm not very good at all that shit. So, but I'll learn. So anyway, And like I said, some of the rules ain't as strict. I always put all of mine not made for kids. It's a limited monetization, but overall, any channel you can lose if somebody catches you, right? You know, or if you say or do, you know, some of what to me is extreme. It's also one reason I'm debating on whether or not to do some migration or some other shit over on Rumble. So, but anyway, I'm gonna get off here. I appreciate y'all. Much love. And until then, go fuck yourself. Nah, much love. Appreciate you, Brandon. Sweet. My sweet, sweet. I'll be all of you.